Oh, what the hell? Boy, what the hell? Oh, what the hell? Boy, what the hell? Leave it to me to somehow mess this up. Leave it to me to somehow mess this up. What do you mean? Okay. Oh shit. Why? Nope. That's rather unfortunate. That's not great. Oh, hey, Katie. I think we're just gonna have to do it vertical because I can't undo it. It won't let me do it horizontally. I think someone's performing in Nashville right now. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I know I was. I was trying to fix that. I have the stream pulled up on my computer, but I'm vertical, but I wanted it to be a wide angle, but it's fine, I guess. I was gonna try and stream from my PlayStation or my Xbox, but my face cam thing wasn't working. Because I just wanted to show my face. I didn't want to have to show any gameplay or anything like that. So, but the PlayStation only works with face cam if you're gonna show gameplay, because it only covers like 10% of the screen. But this is cool though. Oh damn, 5 people are in here. One of them were me though. Yeah, right now they're just playing some sort of video going over how much of a generational talent not Patrick Kane, but Connor Bedard is. But I've got my PC set up, so I've got the stream on this monitor that I've got to my right, then the draft on my left, and then I've got Twitter in case any trades get announced before they show up during the draft. And then I've also got Facebook open. just so I could make that post earlier. But I don't know. I don't think you guys saw it, but I saw it. I was looking on Twitter. Some guy found Kyle Davidson, the Blackhawks general manager, in the streets of Nashville and interviewed him and asked him questions about the NHL and stuff like that. But they didn't realize that it was the Hawks general manager, so they didn't like ask him anything about Connor Bedard or anything. But then after the fact, they found out and like posted it on Twitter, and it's starting to blow up. But like one of the questions he asked him was, I mean, mind you, this is a general manager, so he should know a lot about hockey, and he's been working in hockey for a long time. But the guy asked him what Kyle Davidson thought of like his hockey knowledge was on a scale of 10, of like 1 to 10, and Kyle Davidson said, I get a lot of people seem to think I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm gonna go with probably a 4, and that's like NHL general manager, one of 32 in the entire NHL, and he said he only has knowledge about 40% of what it takes to play hockey or manage a hockey team. And then he gave this little smug ass smile to the camera because he knew that the guy didn't know who he was talking to. So I did do a mock draft. I have it pulled up on my other computer, so I guess I can keep track of how accurate I got it. But I was gonna make a video on it last night, but my phone didn't have enough storage on it because it was like 5 gigabytes on my phone just from recording for 35 minutes. And then I tried to shorten it down to 32, but my phone didn't care for that. So technically I would have had an hour and 7 minutes of video on my phone, but I can't hold that much. So I probably need to get a camera for the future that I just hook up to my computer so that I can download everything. Or upload stuff. It's only 6:41. I went to the gym today too, and Liam had us do arms, but Liam got sick and ended up going outside and throwing up. But I was there with Amber, and Clint ended up showing up not too long before Liam ended up going home. But that's only the second time I've ever been in a gym outside of when I was in school. And so since we did arms, my right arm feels like it could fucking choke a hestecook, which I'm not sure you know what that means, but it's the Danish translation for horsecock. Because it constantly wants to flex itself, but I can't stop it from doing so, and it's because the tendon, I think, is strained. And it just really hurts like a motherfucker. I never understood the whole swole thing, like getting swole thing from the gym until I did it today, because my arms were swelling up and they were constant, like they were arched at an angle like that, like the entire time I was there, and I couldn't straighten them out. Like right now it hurts to try and straighten it out. Only my right arm though. My left arm is seemingly fine. Although my left arm was the one that was in more pain when I was doing it, so. It sucks I can't show the draft for legal reasons, because they're showing some really good Connor Bedard highlights right now. Look at that smile. I was also gonna try and stream from my school computer, but that thing's dead. It's been dead for forever. It says right now they're close to. Oh. So, not sure anyone remembers, but one of my favorite players outside of Kane a year or 2 ago, 2 years ago pretty much at this point, was the Brinket, but they traded him for the 7th pick last year and a second pick last year as well, or a second round pick. But he doesn't want to stay in the team that he was traded to, and everyone thought that Chicago got, effed in that deal, but Korchinski looks like he's going to be insane. I can't even remember who they drafted with that other second round pick. It was probably, if I had to guess, what is his name? I'm forgetting it now. Oh God, he played in the OHL. Well, anyways, but the Breaky doesn't want to stay in Canada, so now they're going to have to trade him away for probably half the price that they had to acquire him for, which is just nuts. But apparently that trade might not happen today just because the Senators haven't given DeBrincat and his agents the ability to talk to other teams on a contract extension. So they aren't close, which I think is because Ottawa wants a lot for him, but he had a down year this year, so he's probably not going to, they're not going to get what they want from him, or for him rather. I also saw that right now the top three is supposed to go Bedard to Chicago, and then Fantilli to Anaheim, and then Carlson to Columbus. But there's a lot of rumblings that Columbus is going to go with Will Smith, the I think 5'10" center, but he's, in my opinion, more of a winger because he's pretty slow. He's not the greatest at skating, whereas Lucas Carlson is a big center who people say is going to play wing, but he's faster, a better skater, and is way bigger and better in general, like overall, than Will Smith. So I don't see where the sense in that is for Columbus, because they don't have a big center in their prospect line, or just a good center outside of Kent Johnson. But Kent Johnson's probably going to play wing anyways because he's not big enough. He's like 6 foot and like 165 pounds soaking wet. So, although what's interesting is that Kent Johnson has been training with Connor Bedard in the offseason, so I think they're setting the draft tables up right now. I might have to switch over to the draft stream because this is just the point. And this could take like 4 hours, by the way, this whole draft, unless the NHL changed the way that they do it, which I think last year they did it a lot quicker, but in the past the draft has taken up to 6 hours. And it's just because they had so many commercial breaks, and for whatever reason, every single team took their 5-minute breaks, or 5-minute time on the clock, which Chicago's not going to need that time. They're probably still going to take about 2 minutes to deliberate whether or not they're going to pick Bedard, but I mean, the only way I can see that happening is if somebody tries to make a trade for it, but Kyle Davidson said that not a single team has asked him about the first pick because they know he's not going to take any offers on it. There's some guy at the podium saying stuff. I don't know what he's saying. I have the volume turned real low so the stream can't hear it because I could get banned for that. Oh, they're talking about the watch party in Chicago, which is a lot of Bedard jerseys there, and they're all wearing number 98, so I'm hoping he ends up wearing 98 for those people's sakes. I saw Mark Lazarus joke that Bedard could wear number 16 in honor of Marcus Kruger, which is just dumb because Marcus Kruger was just a fourth line center at best. But although I did love Marcus Kruger. I know that they're picking him. I'm just more like, I'm gonna be there's a lot of people that are trying to scare me into thinking that, or at least people on Twitter that are trying to scare me into thinking that Chicago's going to take Fantilli. And Fantilli's a good player, but he's not Connor Bedard. He didn't score 271 points in his junior career. Oh, that's interesting. So Connor Bedard, his best friend, is Andrew Cristal, and I've never. I mean, I don't really talk about hockey enough for anyone else to understand who that is or why that's relevant. But Cristal is Bedard's best friend, and they've been friends since they were little kids. But Cristal, he was projected to go in the top 10 this year, but he is the same. He's 5'9.5". Connor Bedard is 5'9 3/4". But Bedard can skate like the wind and is one of the better skaters in this draft, whereas Cristal is slow as shit, puts in little to no effort unless the puck is on his stick in the offensive zone, and is not a very good skater considering his size. So he's probably not even going to... In my opinion, he doesn't get drafted in the first round, but Bedard and Cristal are sitting next to each other, and in my opinion, I think the only team that can actually get Cristal to develop his skating and his game well is a team that has Connor Bedard on them. And so, since Chicago's taking Connor Bedard, I feel like he has to go to Chicago, otherwise he's not going to pan out as an NHL player. Because without that connection, I mean, Cristal is remarkably skilled. He just doesn't put in the effort, and he's not a very good skater, which for almost every single NHL team is not worth using a first-round pick on you. But I could see somebody like Pittsburgh taking a flyer on him just because, but I feel like Pittsburgh needs to make sure they take a more surefire thing because they're starting to fall out of the playoff hunt. But what I'm arguably more interested in is seeing who Chicago takes at the 19th pick. And best case scenario for me is Gabriel Perreault of the USNTDP. He's another smaller guy, which most people want Chicago to take a size player. But if Perreault is there at 19, you take him and just draft a bigger player in the second round because there's going to be a bigger player in the second round. Perreault is, a lot of people talk about him as a goal scorer, but he's a really, really, really smart player and has a lot of good skill. But what he is more of a player who finds the open ice, knows where to go when his teammates need him to need to make a pass to him, and knows exactly where to thread the puck the next time he needs to send the puck like in the direction of one of his teammates. So when he gets the puck, it's not on his stick for very long, and he's already making plays in his mind before he even does them in game, and he's a very good facilitator of play. And Connor Bedard is the kind of player who wants to have the puck on his stick a lot, and to have somebody like Gabriel Perreault who he can just pass the puck to and get the puck back real quickly from, it would actually be perfect. But I'm not sure Perreault drops all the way down to 19. I could see some teams just taking Perreault just out of spite of the Chicago Blackhawks for winning the draft lottery. But I do believe he led all USNTDP players this year with 136 points. And yet he's projected to go outside of the top 10. So, but he's also 5'9.5", I do believe, or just 5'9". But in my mock draft, I had Perreault go 18 to the Winnipeg Jets, just because I didn't see anybody who made sense for the Winnipeg Jets outside of Perreault at that point. So I had the Hawks taking Samuel Honzek, who is a monster of a human at 6'4", who plays a really good playmaking game, and that's kind of what you want to get right now at that pick, is somebody who can make good plays with the puck. But we'll see whether or not that happens. I could see Chicago trying to go for a goal scorer, but I would prefer some sort of playmaker. But I would also actually prefer a defenseman, especially if there's a really good right-handed defenseman, you take him at 19, and then you get a quality forward in the second round, because a lot of defensemen are going to push forwards out of the first round this year, just because teams need defensemen, even though the defensemen aren't great this year. But if Simashev is there, you take him. Although in my mock draft, I didn't have them taking Simashev because it just made more sense in my opinion. Oh wow, I didn't realize that. Bedard had more 5-point games than he had 0-point games this year. Holy shit. He also had, I think, 23 more points in his junior career than McDavid did. At least that's what the graphic just showed. I thought McDavid had 285 and Bedard had 271 though, so I'm not sure. Picks gonna be made in the next 10 minutes this year. Batman's, I think, about to make a statement. What the fuck? Apparently the Nashville Predators might be acquiring the 5th overall pick. At least that's what they're trying to do with the Montreal Canadiens. Now, there's this player from Russia, Matvey Michkov. He produced at a better rate than Alexander Ovechkin did in his draft year. In half the games he produced, I think, 2 more points than Ovechkin did. But he's signed for another 3 years in the KHL right now. So he obviously won't be coming over to the NHL for several years now. Same amount of years that it would take for somebody that you'd be drafting in the late first round or early second round. And so there's talk about, I mean, he's got the most talent outside of Connor Bedard, so he should be going second overall if you're drafting based on potential. But because of his KHL contract, he could slide outside of the top 5, if not even the top 10. But some Hawks fans I'm seeing on Twitter right now are begging for Chicago to fuck around and trade up to get Michkov, which would be nuts. But I don't see that happening. I guess when they were doing a roll call of the draft, the fans in Nashville booed Chicago after everyone cheered for a bit. And then right after, not too long after that, everybody booed Detroit. Which is fair enough. I do see Detroit actually drafting a really good player here. I had them taking Benson, who is one of the best. He's probably the second best WHL player in this draft, but he's 5'9", and he's not Connor Bedard. So there's a chance he falls outside of the top 10, but I think Steve Yzerman is probably going to take him at 9. Just because Steve Yzerman is fucking smart as shit. Cristal? It's kind of weird, but Cristal looks like Lexi Cadence. Wait, where? No way do they have Dmitry Simashev listed as the 7th best draft prospect. If he drops to 19 and Chicago takes him, I'm not going to be upset about it, even though he won't come over for probably 2 or 3 years. It's more of a diss towards Andrew Cristal for looking like a woman than it is Lexi for looking like a man. Or I don't even know. He doesn't look, I don't know. There's just an interview of him and Connor Bedard on Twitter right now by Sportsnet, and he looks just like Lexi. He's got the same cheekbones. Also, I didn't make a video on it, but Chicago got a former Hart Trophy winner, which is the player who's voted as the most valuable player to their team, and they also got a high character former leader in the NHL, who they signed to a 1-year, $4 million contract. But Taylor Hall is the Hart Trophy winner, and he's got a 2-year, $6 million contract. And he's supposed to be playing with Connor Bedard, but the Hawks literally got him for nothing. And it sounds like Kyle Davidson wants to get maybe a couple more forwards, like one or two, maybe bottom six, or somebody who can play on their second and third line, either at this draft or in free agency. And then they want to get a couple of right-handed defensemen because they just traded a few out to two younger guys that don't really have the potential to make the NHL at this point with how old they are. And those were the guys who went over to Boston in that trade. But so Bedard's got a really good line mate. Taylor Hall is like 6'2" and 210 pounds, and he skates like the wind. So he can score. He's not the greatest finisher, but he's a really good playmaker, and he's got a lot of speed, which is just going to help Bedard out a lot. Although Taylor Hall isn't necessarily the best defensively, although he does, from what I understand, try. Which can't be said about Patrick Kane. Alright, it's 7. I should be able to pull up the draft now. I was wondering why I was doing that. Here it is. This is the official draft. Whew. We could see a lot of trades too, which I'm pretty excited for because there's a lot of teams that are up against the cap, and there's also an equal number of teams that have a lot of cap space that want to take bad contracts from other teams, which means that those teams are either going to be getting draft picks this year or they're going to be getting prospects, and one of those teams is Chicago, because I think even after adding $10 million to their cap hit for this year, they've got $31 million in cap space, and I think they need to add on $10 more million or something like that is what I heard, in order to stay cap compliant. So we'll see whether or not that happens. Although this first round could go by really quickly and take maybe 2 hours if there aren't any trades. But like I said, it sounds like Nashville's trying to get the 5th overall pick from Montreal, which I know that Montreal wants to trade the pick because they want to get Ryan Leonard. But I don't see why they'd want to drop from 5 to 15 to hope to God that they get Ryan Leonard, because Ryan Leonard's going in the top probably 7. If oh man, that hurts. It doesn't say they're on the clock yet. Oh, hi, Morgan. Are you in the house or are you just at home? And what's even more shocking to me is that you're not on TikTok and instead you're on YouTube. Okay. I just thought I heard somebody pulling in the driveway, so I thought it might have been Amber bringing you here. Thank you very much. Should go back to school, Morgan. Summer came too early. But I guess thank you for leaving TikTok to come say hi. These commercials suck. Oh, it's a pigeon. Message privately with WhatsApp by Meta? I am always nice to Morgan. Sometimes I catch myself saying something mean and then I stop myself and apologize, so I'm pretty good. Get out of here, you penis. Yeah, okay. I'm glad everyone else agrees with me. That's a cool ass vest. Or jacket, shit. Oh, they're showing the Hawks drafting Kane in 2007. You know, I feel like I know they burned the bridge, but I wonder if Kane's gonna make the selection for the first overall pick. I doubt it. Even though he's no longer with the team. Connor Bedard's dad looks like Bryan Cranston. Well, I didn't know what Ashley was gonna come in here and start saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's rude.
Oh my god, hide at his live stream.
You guys are children.
Bye, Devin. We love you.
Wow. How tall is Gary Bettman? What am I gonna do with 1.7 meters? Yes, you were, Morgan. Well, meters. Fucker. I was gonna say that Gary Bettman's short, the commissioner of the NHL, but he's an inch taller than me, so. Or 3/4 of an inch taller than me. Can I turn on? I doubt there's subtitles. Oh my god, there is. Oh, David Poyle, that's who it is, right? David Poyle is a freaking monster of a human being, then. I don't really care about this. This short, yeah. Oh, Pekka Rinne? Okay, that's kind of cool. Wait. Why does Pekka Rinne can play guitar? No, I guess David Boyle isn't a monster of a human being. It's just Gary Bettman is really short. Oh, they're awarding David Boyle with a Nashville Predators guitar. Or is it just an NHL guitar themed with the Nashville Predators colors? I don't know. That is actually kind of cool. Barry Trotz. Wait, they're allowing it with that. What? I thought Barry Trotz wasn't supposed to be allowed to make picks. I guess, no, that was Brad Treliving. Yeah, Barry Trotz was the former Nashville Predators head coach, but David Poyle, after 25 years of being the Nashville Predators general manager since they came into the league, is retiring. And now the draft is in, or Barry Trotz is in charge of the draft, and he doesn't really, he came into a general manager role near the end of the season last year, and so he doesn't have a lot of insight on any of the prospects, so he just apparently told his draft scouts just to tell him who has the most potential, and whoever they end up picking would end up having the highest like risk versus reward, so that if they hit on that player, then it ends up becoming a monster of a player. So we'll see what they do. They're apparently actively trying to trade up, but Chicago's now on the clock. I think it's only a 3-minute timer. I don't know why they're deliberating right now. You know who you're picking. I don't see anybody on that draft table that's former players. Well, except for, where is he? I know there's some people who should be there. I just can't remember his name. He won the cup with the Hawks in 2010. Oh, and Brian Campbell. Brian Campbell's the AGM, I do believe. There's 2 former players in that. Is Kendall Coyne there? Seem to have misplaced my glasses. Oh, they have Michkov ranked as 3rd? Oh, it's because Megan made that. Oh, it wasn't a mock draft. She was just doing best available. Then I'd have Michkov 2nd as opposed to 3rd. Alright, Chicago's already going up to draft. Oh my god, you better fucking draft Bedard. I swear to god, if you draft anyone other than him, I'll turn off the stream. Who's the mullet? Is that Brian Campbell? Don't get too happy, Bedard. Oh, dude, he's got nerves. Yeah, that was Campbell. Okay, here we go. Yeah, naturally congratulating the Stanley Cup champions. Come on. Yes! They did it. They took Connor Bedard. Whew, I was so worried I was going to say University of Michigan. Whew. Fuck yes. Alright. Whew. That's a huge weight off my shoulders. He actually looks happy. I was worried he wasn't going to be happy to go to Chicago. I think he's just happy it's all over and he doesn't have to wait anymore. Oh, that's amazing. Alright. Leo Carlson's there. Where's Cristal? I thought he was supposed to be near him. Oh, man. That's the next face of the franchise right there. Well, this was the surefire pick that everyone knew was going to happen. But, okay, they have him listed as 5'10", so they're lying just like I do. 185 pounds, though. Not just so it's out there. Connor Bedard is literally built like a bull. Oh, he's already got number 98. Yeah. So, I think I could go on the Hawks website right now and order a Bedard jersey. Because they said that whoever they end up drafting, that pick, like the Hawks Twitter, that player that they pick, their jersey will be up for sale right after they make the announcement. Oh man, he looks good in red. I think it's Brian Fraser. That was the other Hawks former player that I forgot. 71 goals and 72 assists in 57 games. It only gets interesting from here at this point. So I had Fantilli going second. Wait, they're interviewing Kyle Davidson before Bedard? No Bedard jerseys yet? It might take a bit to get it up, because I wonder if they have to wait on Anaheim ending up on the clock, because it still says the pick is in, but I don't know, it's weird. I haven't checked myself. Bedard's dad is crying. Brian Cranston is crying. Can't tell if that's his mom or his sister. Wow. All right, now Anaheim's on the clock. So he's got the most points since Eric Lindros was his draft year in 91. Yeah, now they're interviewing Bedard. I saw a lot of people saying, like in the old Hawks commercials, it would say drive like Ken and Taves drive for like Chevy and stuff like that. Now it's going to be drive like Bedard drives. I don't think it sounds as good, but I'll certainly take it. Yeah. Anaheim's really deliberating the second pick. I don't see where the question could be as to who you pick here. It should just be Adam Fantilli, and you walk away happy with what you've got. And maybe you hope that you're able to draft his teammate Gavin Brindley when you pick at 22. At least I think they pick at 22. All right, pick is in now. Imagine they pick a defenseman here. It should be Adam Fantilli. Whew. Gotta suck to be Anaheim. They were the worst team in the league last year because they just decided to stop winning near the end of the year. Whereas Chicago still tried to win, but they couldn't win. What the fuck? Adam Fantilli drops to the Columbus Blue Jackets laps at number 3. Holy shit. The Anaheim Ducks just picked Leo Carlsson. What the fuck? Now, he's got some of the best production out of a Swedish-born player in the SHL for a draft-eligible prospect since I think it was Forsberg that I saw, but I would not have guessed this. Fantilli's got to be pretty upset. He should have gone second. It's literally been the Bedard-Fantilli draft this entire year, and Leo Carlsson, wow. I don't see why you pick him because Fantilli does everything better and he's only an inch shorter. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's just heavier? I don't get it. It might have been the World Juniors, the U20s that did it. Although I don't think Carlsson played in the U20s, so. But in the U20s, when Bedard scored, I think it was 36 points in 16 games in his World Junior Championships career. Fantilli only had 5 points in 7 games. But I think Bedard had like 16 and 7 or something against players that were 3 years older than him. Pierre-Luc Dubois is his NHL player comparable. That's not great. I like Dubois, but not enough to draft him second overall. When Fantilli's right there. Holy crap. This is nuts. 6'3", 194 pounds. Wow. That just threw everybody's draft tables off. Mine's already wrong. The only thing I've gotten right so far is Bedard. He had 15 points in 44 games in the Swedish Hockey League. No, oh shit, no, he had 10 goals, 15 assists, 35 points. That's actually really fucking good. Okay. But still. Wow, I'm shocked. He had 6 points in the World Junior Championship, too. He only had 1 more point than Fantilli. I know he only had 5 and 8. Okay, but our jerseys are live on the website now. Not sure I've got my card hooked up. They're selling Tays jerseys still. And Ronix. And Esposito's. I don't see them. Why are they still selling Stillman ones? And Flurries. That's weird. Maybe I have to search by player. wonder if they made an announcement on Twitter, because that might be where I need to go. Yeah. Yeah. Mark Lazarus of the Athletic said, search Bedard. That's how I found it. You just search Bedard? Okay. Holy shit. Yeah, but Mark Lazarus of the Athletic was like, and this is why, or this is what happens when teams try to overthink shit. Yeah, you don't. Bedard. No, I'm not in the NHL store. I should probably do that. I was just looking it up on Google. Tell me what to do. Bedard. Okay, there it is. Only 110? Is that for a kid? Yeah. Men's Fanatics branded red player jersey. All right, Columbus's pick is in. It's got to be Fantilli. If it's not Fantilli, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. All right, come on, Kekalainen. Don't over fucking think it. There we go. Adam Fantilli goes 3rd overall. That should not have happened. Shit. What size is my Kane jersey? I gotta figure that out. It says it's a 50. What the hell is a 50? Yep. Is the size down here or something? No, just says it's an Adidas. It is unfortunate that Adidas isn't making the jerseys anymore. It's Fanatics, because I've heard Fanatics makes pretty cheap jerseys. Whatever a 50 is. Where? I need to know. I got to know what size it is. The USA, it's a 50. Can whatever. They don't even have like. I wonder what. Huh? Oh my god. Yeah. This one is a 52. That's. Ow. My knee just died. Okay. Oh, there's a size chart. Stupid me. Okay. Well, that's. What the fuck? So what? I don't need an extra large. I don't know what the freaking sizes mean. Wait. I have a tape measure. 50 is medium and 52 is large. Oh, so then I need a medium. Thank you. Just the one. Pre-order item. This item will ship on or before Friday, July 21st. Yeah, Fantilli, I think, had 65 points in 35 games in the NCAA. Just remember, you're working on getting big arms when you choose. I don't want big arms. I just want to be slimmer. So what does forecheck do? Janko. 454 North Main Street, Eminence, Kentucky. United States, Eminence. Yes, I want the NHL to send me offers. Save my information. No. And now I need my card. Okay, San Jose. What? They have Gabe Perreault as the 5th best? Wow. I sure as fuck hope he doesn't go that early. So... I'm fighting the urge to say my card information out loud, just because that's what I normally do whenever I go through this shit. Okay, I can only do standard shipping. I earned fan cash? Wow. Placed the order. All right, Mike Greer is making the pick right now for the San Jose Sharks. All right, so it could be Matvei Michkov here, or it could be Will Smith, or it could be David Reinbacher. Oh, Marlowe's making the pick? They took Will Smith. I think I got that right. I think I had them drafting Will Smith. So even though Anaheim decided to fuck my draft rankings, I got Will Smith at 4th, which means freaking Matvei Michkov might fall out of the top 5 because I don't see Montreal might trade this pick. That's... Oh boy. Okay. This is interesting. I like Will Smith as a player, but I the reason why I had him drafted at 4th is because I know that some people covet him very well. He destroyed it in the U18 World Junior Championships. I think he had like 23 points in 7 games or something like that. Like his teammate Ryan Leonard and Gabe Perreault, they just destroyed the U18s. I think they won gold, or they should have won gold, but I think they got beaten out by Latvia and ended up winning bronze. After playing, was it Latvia? I'm not sure who they played. All I know is they ended up getting bronze instead of gold, even though they hadn't like lost the game at all in the U18s. But I don't know. I feel like he could become a star, but I see him more as like a first line winger, probably not a center. I mean, you can probably develop him as a center if you want him to, but he might take longer to get to that spot than you'd want him to. But this is exactly kind of what I thought was going to happen, even though Mike Greer said that they're preaching patience and they don't want to, they'll take the best player available and they don't care about how long it's going to take for them to get there. They take Will Smith. And Will Smith is probably only going to take 1 to 2 years to come into the NHL. Although I'd probably be cautious and give him 2 years just because the league is getting faster and faster and he's not. So, well, I got my Bedard jersey. I don't think you can add a C to the jersey because I think he's going to be Chicago's next captain. Probably not next year, but maybe in a year or two. Probably 2 years. What's also weird about Will Smith is he wears number 2 as a forward. You don't really ever see forwards wear single-digit numbers outside of like 8 or 9. Sometimes you'll see a 7. But 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 are almost never worn by a forward. All right. Now the Montreal Canadiens are on the clock, and I had them taking Ryan Leonard here. But there's talks of them potentially moving the pick down so that they can still get Ryan Leonard, but also get additional draft picks. Oh, man. But they could just say fuck it and take Matvei Michkov, but I don't think they want him. I would personally prefer Ryan Leonard just because of the game he plays. That's the kind of player who wins you Stanley Cups, whereas Matvei Michkov is going to produce like 100-point seasons in the regular season and may or may not have really good playoffs. He's not like Patrick Kane or Jonathan Toews where they're going to produce in the playoffs, even if they had a poor regular season. Maybe Chicago gets the 5th pick. I don't know. So right now they have Dalibor Dvorsky as the highest rated prospect left available. He drove his way up a lot of draft boards within the last month or two. I like him, but I don't know if I like him enough to take him at 5. He's bigger than Ryan Leonard, but he doesn't play a big game like Ryan Leonard, so. I think Ryan Leonard's like 5'11", 194 pounds. Dude's a tank. I mean, if the Hawks can somehow draft Ryan Leonard, I'd be happy as all hell. Because I mean, he's not necessarily a playmaker, but he's the kind of guy who, like I said, just wins you Stanley Cups. All right, pick is in. So Montreal is not trading the pick. I wonder if it's maybe because they thought that Michkov wasn't going to make it to them. So maybe they do take Michkov now. But we'll see. Yeah, let me refresh this. I want to see everybody's reaction to the draft right now. Wait, I couldn't hear it because I had the volume all the way down. But apparently, when San Jose picked Will Smith, they played a Will Smith song. I didn't know Will Smith made music, but I guess they did. Somebody made a joke. Mark Lazarus made a joke that Will Smith slapped Patrick Marleau in the face. Oh yeah, they speak French over there in Montreal. All right, who do they take? Carey Price picking? They're gonna pick. What the fuck? Carey Price messed it up. He didn't. I think he just said the team that the player played for, and then the general manager had to reach around Carey Price and say the name of the player because Carey Price couldn't remember it. But the Montreal Canadiens take the first defenseman off the board and David Reinbacher, and Matvei Michkov falls out of the top 5, which I had predicted, but I did not see Reinbacher going at 5th. I had him going 6th, I do believe. Where's my mouse? Yeah, I had Ryan Leonard going 5th and Reinbacher going 6th to Arizona. So now we'll see whether or not and Arizona takes Ryan Leonard. Reinbacher's a good defenseman, a very, very good two-way defenseman. He doesn't like have any one trait that makes him better in any way, shape, or form over the other defensemen in this draft. He does play a good physical game, and he is pretty decent offensively. But like I said, he's not the best at defense, and he's not the best at offense. But he has the potential to becoming extremely good at both of those. But for me, I would rather Dmitry Simashev because he's 6'4", near the second half of his junior season this year in the MHL. Simashev produced at nearly a point per game and finished the year at just under half a point per game in the MHL, and defends better than probably any other defensive prospect in this draft. And he's 6'4" and skates probably better than any other defenseman in the draft. So I wouldn't necessarily have taken Reinbacher or Simashev at 5, but I understand taking Reinbacher at 5 if you're Montreal because your defensive prospect pool is pretty poor. And then I don't care. I said I wanted steak this morning, so I guess I'll take a steak. But unless there's like a really long TV timeout, I might not come down to get my food. So you guys get whatever you want. Pizza's probably going to be easiest. But, so like Snappies. But you guys pick. I'm busy with the draft. It's got to be easy. Well, isn't Snappies easy as shit? If I can go with McDonald's, I don't care. Your mother wanted McDonald's this morning for whatever reason. Or better yet, take the 40-minute drive to and back, or to and from Wendy's and get Wendy's. Although I don't want Wendy's, I'm just saying that to be annoying. What is that game? Oh my god, there's hockey in Roblox? Okay. Thank you.